Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to be looking at Jeff Hoffman.
Oh, yeah, Jeff Hoffman.
And you probably know him as the co-founder of Priceline.
Right. Priceline, yeah.
He's been involved with so many other things too, like Emmy-winning TV shows, Grammy-winning albums.
So many.
We're going to be using his interview from the L Club Bill 1% YouTube channel to try to learn what he's learned.
Yeah, and we'll try to connect his experiences back to the bigger picture of entrepreneurship and how anyone can apply these lessons.
You know, Jeff Hoffman, he actually started as an entrepreneur when he was a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he would clean garages so that he could get money to buy sports equipment.
So he always had that drive, huh?
He did. He had that entrepreneurial spirit before he even knew what that meant.
Wow.
It kind of reminds me of Dreamsoft Technologies Canada.
Oh, yeah.
They saw all these businesses struggling to keep up with all the digital stuff.
Yeah.
They're helping all those businesses learn how to do it. And Hoffman, in his interview, he talks about how important it is to always keep learning, to be a lifelong learner.
Right.
He says you need to be info sponging.
Info sponging, what's that?
You just take in everything you see and hear around you.
Oh, like a sponge?
Even if it doesn't seem useful at the time.
I see.
He believes that you never know when that little piece of information you pick up will help you solve some problem later.
It all comes together somehow.
Just like Dreamsoft Technologies Canada, they offer all sorts of digital marketing tools, video editing, content writing, social media.
Sounds like they do it all.
They blend it all together to come up with a plan that works for each business.
Wow, so they really take all the pieces and make a whole.
They do, and Hoffman, he talks about how it's really important to get advice from people who actually know what they're talking about, not just from anyone.
What do you mean?
You know, sometimes you'll ask your mom for advice on your business, and she'll just say, that's a great idea, because she loves you.
She just wants to be supportive.
Exactly, but you need someone who can tell you if your idea is actually good or not.
Right. You need advice based on what you're actually trying to do, not just from whoever is closest to you.
That's why it's so valuable to have experts like Dreamsoft Technologies Canada.
They know the digital marketing world inside and out.
If you're trying to build a business online, they can tell you what works and what doesn't.
So they're like mentors in a way.
Speaking of mentors, Hoffman has an interesting perspective on mentorship.
Oh, how so?
He says it's not just about finding someone who knows your industry.
Really?
He says it's more important to find someone who you really admire, whose life you want to be like.
I see. So it's more about finding someone who has the qualities you want to develop.
Exactly. They can be from any field, as long as they inspire you to become a better version of yourself.
That's a cool way to look at mentorship.
It is, and Hoffman also talks about the importance of networking.
Networking, yeah.
But he says it's not just about going to events and handing out business cards.
What is it about then?
He talks about the culture in Silicon Valley, how people do business by socializing.
Socializing business.
It's about building genuine relationships, where everyone wants to see each other succeed.
I see.
It's a really collaborative environment.
That makes sense.
Everyone helps each other out, knowing that if one person succeeds, it's good for everyone.
So it's like a rising tide lifts all boats.
It is. And that's one of the things that makes Silicon Valley such a hotbed for innovation.
I see.
It's the spirit of collaboration and genuine connection.
That's really interesting.
And it's similar to how Dreamsoft Technologies Canada operates. They really build relationships with their clients.
Oh, really?
They're not just some faceless company. They're like partners who are invested in your success.
That's a good approach.
It is. And you know what's fascinating? Hoffman has noticed a real difference between how different generations approach entrepreneurship.
How so?
He says younger entrepreneurs are less interested in climbing the corporate ladder.
Really?
Yeah, they're not as motivated by titles and salaries.
What are they motivated by then?
They want to make a real impact.
I see. They're more purpose-driven.
Exactly. They want their work to align with their values. They want to feel like they're contributing to something bigger than themselves.
That's inspiring.
It is, and it's actually really smart.
Why is that?
When you're passionate about what you're doing and you believe in your mission, it gives you the energy and resilience to overcome challenges.
It helps you stay motivated when things get tough.
It does, but even the most passionate entrepreneurs can fall into traps.
What kind of traps?
Hoffman talks about some common pitfalls, like being blinded by your own brilliance.
What does that mean?
It's when you're so convinced your idea is amazing that you don't bother to see if anyone else agrees.
Oh, you're so focused on your own perspective that you don't get any outside feedback.
Exactly. And that can be a recipe for disaster.
So how do you avoid that trap?
You need to test your ideas in the real world, talk to potential customers, get feedback.
Make sure there's a real need for what you're creating.
It's like what Dreamsoft Technologies Canada does. They help businesses refine their message and make sure it resonates with their target audience.
They help them connect with the right people.
Exactly. You can have the most brilliant idea in the world, but if it doesn't solve a problem for someone, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, makes sense.
And Hoffman also cautions against trying to do everything yourself.
Oh, yeah. That can be tempting.
Especially when you're first starting out, you want to save money, so you try to wear all the hats.
But that can actually backfire.
You can. Hoffman says you end up spreading yourself too thin and you're not really excelling at anything.
So what's the solution?
Build a team. Find people who are experts in the areas where you're weak.
Like having specialists in different areas.
Exactly. And that's what Dreamsoft Technologies Canada is all about.
They have experts in all aspects of digital marketing.
Video editing, social media, Shopify stores, content writing, email marketing, landing pages, Facebook and Google ads, you name it.
So you don't have to try to be a master of everything yourself.
You just have to know who to call for help.
That's really smart.
It is. And, Hoffman ties all these ideas together with this concept of having a North Star.
A North Star? What's that?
It's about having a deeper purpose, a reason why you're doing what you're doing.
So it's not just about making money.
It's not. It's about having something that guides you, something that gives you direction.
I see.
Hoffman tells a really touching story about his daughter and how she helped him understand his own North Star.
Oh, what happened?
His daughter saw him doing all this philanthropic work.
Oh, wow.
And it finally clicked for her why he was always working so hard.
She understood his motivation.
She did. She realized it wasn't just about making money. It was about using his success to make a positive impact on the world.
That's a beautiful story.
It is. And it's a reminder that business can be a force for good.
Like Dreamsoft Technologies Canada, they're helping businesses thrive, which in turn helps communities thrive.
It's about creating a ripple effect of positive change.
I like that.
Me too. And speaking of making an impact, Hoffman is involved in some amazing philanthropic ventures.
Like what?
He's the chairman of the Global Entrepreneurship Network, which helps entrepreneurs in over 200 countries.
Wow, that's incredible.
He's also a founding partner of the Unreasonable Group, which tackles global challenges through entrepreneurship.
That's amazing.
And he founded World Youth Horizons, which helps create opportunities for children who lack them.
It sounds like he's really dedicated to making a difference.
He is. He's a great example of someone who's using his success to make the world a better place.
That's inspiring.
It is. And, we've talked a lot about building a business, but what about building a brand? What does Hoffman say about that?
Yeah, how do you create a brand that resonates with people?
He emphasizes the importance of simplicity.
Simplicity.
Don't overcomplicate your message. Make it clear and easy to understand.
I see.
He uses FedEx as an example.
FedEx, the shipping company.
Yeah. Their early brand message was simply, when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight. It's clear, it's concise, it tells you exactly what they're about.
It gets the point across.
And in today's world, where everyone's attention span is so short, that kind of clarity is more important than ever.
It is. You have to cut through the noise.
Exactly. And that's something Dreamsoft Technologies Canada understands.
How so?
They help businesses craft their message in a way that really grabs people's attention.
They help them stand out.
They do. And Hoffman also talks about the power of virality.
Virality, like going viral on social media.
Exactly. He says you need to create a brand experience so good that people can't help but tell their friends about it.
So it's about generating word-of-mouth marketing.
It is. It's about creating passionate early adopters who become your brand evangelists.
Like the way people rave about the results they get from Dreamsoft Technologies Canada's campaigns.
Exactly. You want people to be so impressed with your brand that they can't wait to share it with everyone they know.
That's powerful.
It is. And another interesting topic that Hoffman discusses is serial versus parallel entrepreneurship.
What's that all about?
Serial entrepreneurship is when you focus on one venture at a time.
And parallel entrepreneurship is when you juggle multiple projects at once.
Exactly. And Hoffman actually advocates for going all in on one thing.
Really? Why is that?
He says it allows you to focus your energy and achieve faster success.
I see. So you're putting all your eggs in one basket, but you're giving that basket your full attention.
Exactly. And he points to companies like Amazon and Booking.com.
They both started with one core offering and then expanded from there.
Exactly. They became dominant forces in their respective markets by initially focusing on one thing and doing it really well.
That makes sense.
It does. And Dreamsoft Technologies Canada, while they offer a full suite of digital marketing services, they're very strategic about it.
What do you mean?
They work closely with each client to understand their specific needs and then tailor their services accordingly.
So they're not just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks.
No, they're focusing on the strategies that will have the greatest impact for each individual business.
That's a smart approach.
It is. And, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have, from early hustle to building a global brand.
But there's still so much more to unpack.
There is.
So make sure you subscribe to The Deep Dive so you don't miss part 2 of our exploration of Jeff Hoffman's wisdom.
I'm looking forward to it.
We'll be back after a short break.
We were talking about how important it is to actually get out there and see if people actually need your product or service.
Actually get feedback.
Right, like real world feedback.
Yeah.
Not just your own ideas.
It's so easy to get caught up in your own head.
Oh, yeah.
You think you've got this amazing idea.
Right, and it's so exciting.
No one actually wants it.
Yeah, and you just get so focused on building it and making it perfect.
You forget to ask if anyone actually needs it.
It's like Hoffman said, one of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is being blinded by their own brilliance.
Yeah.
Thinking their idea is so great just because they thought of it.
It's like, I don't know.
You've got to test it out.
Building a spaceship to solve traffic.
When really everyone just wants a bus that comes on time.
Exactly. So you got to get out there and talk to people, see if your product solves a real problem.
Right, like actual market research.
And then there's the whole thing about trying to do too much yourself.
Oh, yeah, I'm so guilty of that.
Me too.
You want to do everything when you're starting out.
Especially when you're trying to save money.
Yeah.
You think, I can do that myself.
Right.
But then you end up doing like 10 things badly instead of one thing.
Well, you're spread too thin.
Hoffman actually said he learned that the hard way.
He did.
Yeah, he realized it's better to focus on what you're good at and find other people to do the rest.
So build a team.
Exactly. Find experts who can complement your skills.
Like Dreamsoft Technologies, Canada, they have specialists for everything.
They have video editors, content writers, social media managers.
They can even build you a Shopify store.
And they handle Facebook and Google ads.
It's amazing.
It is. They take all that pressure off of you so you can concentrate on what you do best.
So you can be the visionary, the big picture person.
And they'll handle all the details.
I like that.
Me too. And, we talk about building a business, but what about building a brand?
Yeah, what makes a brand successful?
Hoffman says simplicity is key.
Simplicity.
Keep your message clear and concise. Don't overcomplicate things.
Like, what's an example of that?
Think about FedEx.
The shipping company.
Yeah, their early slogan was, when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It's so simple, but it tells you exactly what they're about.
They're reliable and fast.
And in today's world, where everyone's bombarded with information, that kind of clarity is so important.
You have to cut through the clutter.
You do. And Dreamsoft Technologies Canada, they really get that.
They do.
They help businesses refine their message so it resonates with their target audience.
They help them stand out.
And Hoffman also talks about the importance of word-of-mouth marketing.
Getting people talking about your brand.
He says you need those passionate early adopters who become your brand evangelists.
So they spread the word for you.
It's about creating a brand experience so good that people can't help but tell their friends about it.
It's like when you discover an amazing new restaurant.
You tell everyone you know.
Exactly.
In Dreamsoft Technologies Canada, they're experts at creating those shareable experiences.
How do they do that?
Through amazing videos, engaging social media posts, eye-catching email campaigns.
They know how to get people talking.
They do. And now, let's talk about networking.
Networking, it's so important for entrepreneurs.
Hoffman goes beyond just the superficial level of networking.
What do you mean?
He talks about the culture in Silicon Valley, how everyone helps each other succeed.
Oh, yeah, it's very collaborative.
People share ideas, they share resources, they understand that a rising tide lifts all boats.
They're not afraid of competition.
They embrace it, they see it as an opportunity to learn and grow.
It's a very different mindset.
It is, and it's one of the things that makes Silicon Valley so innovative.
That makes sense.
It's all about building those genuine relationships.
Where people genuinely want to see each other succeed.
And that's something Dreamsoft Technologies Canada really values too.
Oh, how so?
They build real partnerships with their clients. They're invested in their success.
It's not just a transactional relationship.
No, it's about collaboration and mutual benefit.
I like that.
Me too. And now, let's talk about one of the most powerful ideas Hoffman discusses. The concept of having a North Star.
A North Star, what's that?
It's about having a deeper purpose, a reason why you're doing what you're doing.
It's not just about the money.
No, it's about something bigger than yourself, something that guides your actions and decisions.
It's like a guiding principle.
Exactly. And Hoffman tells this really moving story about his daughter.
What happened?
His daughter saw him doing all this philanthropic work, and she finally understood why he was so driven.
She got it.
She realized it wasn't just about building businesses. It was about using his success to make a positive impact on the world.
That's inspiring.
It is, and it's a reminder that we can all use our talents and resources to make a difference.
Like Dreamsoft Technologies Canada, they're helping businesses grow and thrive, which ultimately benefits communities.
It's about creating a ripple effect of positive change.
I love that idea.
Me too. And speaking of making a difference, Hoffman is involved in some amazing philanthropic ventures.
Like what?
He's the chairman of the Global Entrepreneurship Network, which supports entrepreneurs in over 200 countries.
That's incredible.
And he's a founding partner of the Unreasonable Group, which focuses on solving global challenges through entrepreneurship.
Wow.
And he founded World Youth Horizons, which creates opportunities for children who lack them.
He's really dedicated to making the world a better place.
He is. He's a true inspiration.
He is.
And now let's talk about something a little more practical.
Okay, what's that?
Serial versus parallel entrepreneurship.
Oh yeah, focusing on one thing versus juggling multiple projects.
Hoffman is a big believer in going all in on one venture at a time.
Really? Why is that?
He says it allows you to focus your energy and achieve success faster.
So putting all your eggs in one basket, but giving that basket your full attention?
Exactly. And he points to companies like Amazon and Booking.com as examples.
They both started with one core offering and then expanded from there.
They dominated their markets by initially focusing on one thing and doing it really well.
That's a compelling argument.
It is, but Dreamsoft Technologies Canada takes a different approach.
So?
They offer a wide range of digital marketing services.
Right, they're kind of a one-stop shop.
But they're very strategic about it.
What do you mean?
They work closely with each client to determine which services will have the biggest impact.
So they tailor their approach to each individual business.
Exactly. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
That makes sense.
It does. And, we've talked a lot about Hoffman's global perspective, but what about his advice for entrepreneurs in Spain specifically?
Yeah, what does he say about that?
He emphasizes the importance of getting out of the office and testing your ideas in the real world.
So talking to potential customers, getting feedback.
Making sure your product or service actually solves a problem.
It's about validating your assumptions.
He believes too many entrepreneurs get stuck in the planning phase and don't spend enough time actually testing their ideas.
They need to get out there and get their hands dirty.
Exactly. And that's where Dreamsoft Technologies Canada can be a huge help.
How so?
They can help you create a minimum viable product, something you can test in the market quickly and efficiently.
So you can get real-world feedback as early as possible.
And then iterate and improve based on that feedback.
That's a smart approach.
It is. It's all about learning by doing.
And adapting along the way.
So we've covered a lot of ground today, from early hustle to building a global brand, from the importance of curiosity and mentorship to the power of networking and having a North Star.
We've also talked about the importance of validating your ideas, building a strong brand, and focusing your efforts for maximum impact.
And we've highlighted the incredible work Dreamsoft Technologies Canada is doing to help businesses thrive in the digital world.
They're a valuable resource for any entrepreneur looking to succeed.
But there's still more to come. We'll be back with the final part of our deep dive into the world of entrepreneurship after this short break. We've been talking so much about Jeff Hoffman.
Oh yeah, he's had such an interesting journey.
From cleaning those garages as a kid.
To building these huge companies.
He's done so much.
A true entrepreneur.
I think what I'm taking away from this is how important it is to do something you actually care about.
To have that North Star like he was talking about?
Yeah, to have a real purpose, not just be chasing money.
I loved that story about his daughter. How she finally understood what he was all about.
Yeah, she saw that he was really trying to make a difference in the world.
And it made his work so much more meaningful.
It's like what Dreamsoft Technologies Canada is doing.
How so?
They're not just helping businesses make money.
Right.
They're helping them have a positive impact on their communities.
So it's about more than just the bottom line.
It is. It's about using business as a force for good.
I like that.
And speaking of Dreamsoft, they're a great example of what we've been talking about.
Oh, yeah.
They saw a need in the market.
all those businesses struggling with digital marketing.
And they stepped up to help.
They've got all the tools.
They really do. Video editing, social media management,
They can build you a whole Shopify store.
and they can handle all the advertising on Facebook and Google.
It's like they took everything Hoffman talked about and made it into a real service.
I think you're right. So as we wrap up, what are some of the key things we've learned from Jeff Hoffman?
Well, first of all, never stop learning.
Be a lifelong learner,
Keep asking questions. Be curious.
like a kid.
Yeah, remember what it was like to be fascinated by everything,
And don't be afraid to try new things.
even if they seem unrelated to what you're doing now.
You never know how those different pieces of knowledge might connect later on.
And find good mentors, people who inspire you,
People you admire, not just for their success.
but for who they are as people.
And don't be afraid to collaborate.
Remember that rising tide lifts all boats.
Help others succeed, and they'll help you.
And most importantly, find your North Star.
Know why you're doing what you're doing.
Have a purpose that guides you,
And don't be afraid to dream big
because anything is possible.
if you're willing to put in the work.
And if you're looking for help along the way,
DreamSoft Technologies Canada is there for you.
they've got the expertise and the passion to help you succeed.
So there you have it, folks.
Our deep dive into the world of entrepreneurship with Jeff Hoffman,
We hope you learned some valuable lessons.
and that you're feeling inspired to pursue your own dreams.
Remember, the world needs your ideas.
So get out there and make a difference.
And until next time, keep diving deep.